or Gavin, depending on when we met and how we met. Welcome to a new podcast I'm doing called Breakthrough. You can also check out Music Hacker if you're in that world. But this is where I basically sit down with some really cool actors, writers, screenwriters, directors, just kind of creative, exciting people. And we do the kind of same thing as I do in Music Hackers. We try to figure out how the creatives can win the war and how they can get themselves to where they have to go, feeling content and excited about their lives, doing what they want to do at all times. So for episode 1, Sarah Begum, I have a real problem with surnames.
Oh my god, come on,
Sarah
right.
Begum? How do you say it?
Begum sounds good actually. I should change it to
I think
Begum.
you should go for Begum. We're rebranding straight off the bat, right? So Sarah
Begum.
Begum.
But Begum sounds better.
I kind of like Begum. Makes me hungry though.
Bagel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sarah Bagel. I'm going to call you Sarah Bagel from now on. What's the...
So American. Oh my god. Stop.
Sarah is quite an exciting young human. And I say that as kind of clean as possible. But let's know something about, like, the interesting thing that when I first met you, introduced by our lovely friend Z, is that you've got like this kind of zest for life and kind of adventure. And so the first thing that struck me, which was crazy, is that you're dressed. I would say, and it's a Scottish expression, but I would say you were dressed to the tits, and that is that you were dressed really like sexy and just extravagant.
Really?
And I think I was wearing like an old T-shirt that I probably wore like 700 times on tour. It probably still had that stench.
I wore that dress about the same amount of times you wore that T-shirt. Yeah.
Right.
It's just easy to put on. I don't need to iron it. And yeah, it just makes my life easier. It's convenient.
But you know what was really interesting is that you don't get what you see in a way, which is really cool.
What do you mean?
Within minutes, I found out from yourself. I didn't like hire an investigator or anything. We were having a conversation, so it came out naturally, as it does with humans. That
humans. No, I'm an alien.
But you're somewhat of an alien.
I am. Oh hell yeah!
But that you're this adventurer, and that you went and spent time living in the Amazon with Amazonians. You're not Amazonian, are you?
I am.
You are Amazonian.
Now.
All right. We're not going to get through any truth here today. So you went and when did you do that, by the way?
Okay. So when I was 9 years old, I learned about deforestation in the Amazon, and it became my dream to go there, save the trees, and see how people live there today.
How long did it take you to fulfill that dream?
I managed to fulfill it when I was 21.
Wow.
So quite a few years later, and I became the youngest person ever to make a first film living with the Warani tribe. So it was amazing, it was life-changing because that defined the rest of my life. There I was hunting with warriors, gathering with women, then they made me queen.
It's very patriarchal, isn't it? Hunting with the male and making food with the women, isn't it?
I'm a man in a woman's body, okay?
But it's interesting, isn't it? So like you go out there and then you're doing all this crazy stuff, basically living as a tribes person.
Yeah, so I wanted to immerse myself in their way of life. I wanted to learn how they
You didn't take your heels with you?
No, but my sandals got lost in the quicksand on the first day.
Wait, whoa.
So I just had to go barefoot.
You came across a quicksand pit on your first day?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And ate my
You would have left
sandals.
that till like the third act, surely. Like, the intensity of building, she's going to die, she's going to go down in the quicksand, betray you.
No.
It's a story reference, not band. But so you were like right into the muck, no pun intended, straight off the bat.
Yeah, but I just didn't really think of it as anything huge.
It's huge. Your sandals died. They perished in the first act. That's massive. You wouldn't do
when
that
you're
in any
living
kind of
in a primitive environment where material things don't matter as much.
Yeah, fuck those sandals.
They were really cool, expensive, really nice, great quality sandals, but
But that was your old life.
My life
and
survival was what mattered the most.
So straight off the bat, you was something that's kind of that you liked.
What do you mean?
As in, you lost a possession, and was that kind of like? I don't know if I can need them. Everyone else is walking their bare feet. I'm not gonna walk in here walking some Nikes.
No, I mean, I did towards the end. I was just barefoot, and I wanted to roam around the jungle, just feeling nature, just connecting with nature, the most natural way I could.
What did the? I mean, this probably isn't a question you get much, but what did the Amazonians think of the red lipstick?
I didn't have red lipstick in the jungle. Right. Did I? No, I didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine.
I had a very nice neutral tone one. I had a neutral tone one.
Oh, okay. So you did have lipstick.
Is it to blend into the back? I mean, come on.
Okay, all right.
My lips were going to be dry. I was in a very hot 40-degree plus environment.
Do you think they? Did you let them try any of your lip balm? Any of them? You let them try it on?
On the last day, when they were painting me in their with the natural fruits, the achiote and the other fruit that they collected, I was showing them some of my possessions, and I had a makeup bag.
Yep.
And I remember the women were fascinated by my makeup bag. They wanted to know what everything was, so I put some on myself, and they were watching, and then...
They must have thought that you were a fucking alien at that point. They must have thought, the fuck is you doing?
So this is my fruit. I'm joking. Cut that out. No.
Cut that.
You're gonna cut that out. No, I mean they were very curious about me, but as curious as I was about them.
Yeah.
So as much as I wanted to learn about them and their culture, they wanted to know who I was.
Right.
And they wanted to know what my values were and also how I lived, and they were very interested in me sharing their culture with people in my culture.
Yeah. And so how long did you stay there for?
I was there in the Amazon in total about a month.
Wow. And you had a film crew, and you shot it for who? Did you?
So that was my first film, myself.
Yeah. And so you shot it, you put it all together, you hired the crew, you went out there.
So I had a soundman from Portsmouth and a cameraman from New York, and we all...
It's a good team, it's a good link up. They probably have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah.
The cameraman, when we went to the tribe, he stayed for the first night, but he was infected. He had a wound from the journey, which was infected. So
you guys
we had
take
to fly
EasyJet?
out. No.
Is that where they got the wound?
Oh, come on.
Just kidding. So he got a wound actually getting to where you were going?
Yeah,
wow.
So, and it was infected during the canoe journey, so we had to fly out the very next day, and luckily there was a plane there collecting the Nat Geo and National Geographic team who were also filming an episode of Fish Warrior, but they just finished just as we came in. So he flew out with them. And it was just me and the cameraman, and I sometimes, when the cameraman was Frank, when he was sleeping or resting in the hammock, or when he was completely like I don't know, he vanished to
sounds like a bit of a lazy reprobate, if you ask me.
No, he was very hard working. No, he was amazing. It was just us two, so the workload was very intense. Mm-hmm. So he had to double up, camera and sound, and so did I. I had to, instead of just being the producer, director, presenter, I had to sometimes film myself and sort out logistics, and I had to
How many years ago was this?
This was 2010, so we're in 2018, 8 years ago.
Wow, so different landscape for sure for the kind of industry.
Yeah.
But isn't it fascinating though, like just hearing you talk there, like this is kind of like what everyone has to do now. Like no one's going and getting like big teams of people to go out shooting, no matter what company you go with.
That's
interesting. You're actually taking your own people out, you're shooting, you're executive producing everything yourself.
Interesting that you say that, because I've always felt very much ahead of my time in everything that I've done.
That was for sure, yeah.
But even the ideas that I've had, or the theories that I've had, not only in the industry, beyond the industry, it's only just kind of settling into everyone's consciousness now. People are talking about it now. But back then, I was doing it. So it's like I had to wait for the rest of the industry to catch up with me, to
always
understand me.
Always the way.
It's like, come on, people.
The industry, like, we'll just enter this right here. The film industry, music industry, marketing, all of these, let's just like get this on the table, because we'll probably talk about this quite a lot.
Yeah.
All of these types of people that you go to when you're creative, you want to get a project off the go, you want to get on the ground, you want to like get a record made, or you want to get a film made, or you want to get your product out there. Anyone you go to, you're basically, if you're a creative going forward, you're basically going to come up against very kind of uninspiring kind of people who go by numbers. They don't really go by how good an idea is. They're not creatives. The difference between us and them is that we're creatives. We come up with ideas. We'll probably have 150 ideas.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. And
we have no problems.
And we're plagued with them, right? And we get upset and depressed because we have so many ideas. But the difference between, for us, one of those ideas can define us. One idea needs to pop, and it defines us forever. With them, you say you've got someone who's an executive in filmmaking, someone at a record company or someone at a marketing company, basically glorified office workers. These are not the rock stars. They are, they probably wanted to get into it for that, and they like being around people. They like going to events, but these are not rock stars.
And they like having a secure income.
Yeah.
Something that's an actual job.
Yeah, it's a job. It's an.
But they don't have the ideas. They lack the ideas.
Well, they might have 150 ideas in a year. Most likely not. But whatever big idea they do have.
Yeah.
They don't. It's not like it could pop in and define them.
Yeah.
They might have one project that they work on or one big idea that they work on pop, but it doesn't define them. It defines the company. So the difference between us and them is that we have incentive because we only need one thing to pop. They don't. They need to meet targets, and so they have no incentive to go and be very creative and work with creative people and go, I love this idea. It's like, how many hits do you have? How many numbers do you have? Where's your subscribers? What have you done before? I want to see all that, and it's like you're going there going, well, this is a great idea. I want to make this now. I need your help to make it. And they're going, no, sorry, we don't do that. We only come now, especially in the modern day era.
Yeah.
Like it was probably a bit like that back then. I mean, definitely my experience with the BBC and everyone was definitely like that.
You would come up with an idea, and it's something that you believe in and so passionate about. And then they're like, but who are you? So we'll take your idea and let's give it to someone who's already up there. So it's just like, seriously? That's just happened so many times, not just to me, but people I've met all over the industry. Yeah. Creatives.
I shot pilots back in the day. We were a music group signed. Obviously, it wasn't who I said it was. Yeah. It's a crazy story, but we were kind of very attractive in the sense of entertaining, maniacs. And so we had loads. As soon as we went on MTV, they offered us a chance to shoot a pilot. And now, what was really happening there is not we want you guys and we want to give you your own show. That's what it sounds like to us, because we're Dumbo creatives, But what they're really going is, we'll sign you in because you're creative, you've got so many ideas. We'll shoot this show, and then when we shot the show, it was like they want to give it to these guys, and they wanted to give it to these guys because we hadn't blown yet. But if we had blown it overnight and it was like a massive success, we'll give you your show. But then they basically said you have to have 2 or 3 shows out there doing big, doing really well before you go on MTV. And I was like, well, why the fuck did you sign it?
Yeah,
But it's like, because we want content for our things, I think they were talking about giving it to other acts that were doing well, So it's really interesting.
Oh gosh, that's interesting, because I'm hearing the same things from broadcasters. It's
but now it's so much more hardcore, because now you wouldn't even get in the doors. Now it's like, until you've got 100,000 or 150,000 subscribers, no one's touching that. And yet there's still so many amazing ideas and amazing creatives out there who are going to these companies for support and for cash injection rather than building. But let's go back to the Amazon, because I think we'll get to there. But so the Amazon, and you shot it all in one, and then what, you edited after?
So we shot on 3 different cameras.
Wow, so kind of an operation.
And it was the first time, I think the Canon 5D Mark II came out in 2010, right?
I'm going to believe you, Jamie.
Was it 2010?
Jamie doesn't even fucking know.
Okay, I think it was around that time, because the cinematographer, he bought it, and that was the same year we shot the Amazon. So my documentary may have been the very first documentary ever to be shot with the Canon 5D alongside the Panasonic HD and the Sony handheld. So I just, I was really excited about mixing all the different shots, making something really exciting to watch,
Yeah, yeah.
enjoyable, but also tell the story and the important message from the tribes. For me, that's really important.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think about everything from tech to story to content. So like,
Yeah.
I'm a very visual person, but I care about the meaning and the content, you know?
I would say you're like a modern day Lara Croft, or like a
I get that
like
a
an
lot.
Indiana Jones but female.
Yeah,
You know?
I get that a lot.
Yeah. So
You can shoot and edit and present in the film industry.
But so this is what's making me think is that you're like primed. You're like in a perfect position then for the modern day industry. You know what I mean? Like what I'm thinking is why. So you have that, and it got released here. Who released it? Was it on National Geographic or something?
No, I wish it was.
Right.
So it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and it's been in other festivals all over the UK. And it released on Shorts TV International in various territories, so US, UK, EMEA, and then it was on iTunes, Amazon, it was selling at the BFI and Wildlife Conservation Channel, and another network or platform in the US, which I can't remember the name of.
Probably not important then.
I can't. I had so much going on when they offered me the distribution. So, so it's out there, and during.
And so, have you lost? I won't say lost, but did you have any? Do you still own rights in it?
Yes, I own.
You still own the rights, so you could broadcast. You could do whatever you want with the footage.
Yeah,
that's amazing. This is you're in like a perfect. We're getting towards a perfect state of play here. So what was the?
What is that?
So what did you have you suffered from? Because this was how many years ago? Like
so 2010. So I started pre-producing when I conceived the idea to make the film in 2009.
Yeah.
So 9 years ago. 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing the maths.
I mean, that's
creatives hate maths.
Yeah. So I would have calculators.
Yeah. I love it.
Can someone do that math quick?
You were just looking at me and counting backwards.
I was honestly gonna go. I think it's 7.
Come on.
But
okay.
So what happened next then? Because it's been 9 years since.
Yeah, so it hasn't. It's broadcast on TV in the US. Yeah. I had an offer from a channel here to broadcast it for free, but I was like, no. Mm-hmm. And the BBC were very interested in it when it released, and they really liked it. They wanted to acquire it, but acquisition then, I don't know, they put me through a few months of waiting, and it was back and forth, and then they just said, do you have more footage? Because at the moment it's 30 minutes, but if this was BBC Three, they said, if you have more footage and we can edit it to 1 hour, maybe we can consider it, we can reconsider it then. I didn't want to go through another 3, or I didn't know how long it was going to take me to edit perfectly a 1 hour piece. So because I had the sound dubbing mixer on board, I had the color grade on it, I had a music specifically composed for it. So I went through a whole process to get it.
You made a finished product.
I made a finished product, and it took time, and I was very fortunate, extremely fortunate, to have some of the most amazing award-winning talent from the industry work on my film, because they believed in me and they believed in the film.
Could be a bit of a curse now, having that talent up front. So what?
Really?
What could be the situation here, which you should be careful not to let it be, but something to watch out for, is that you've come out the docks with like a really high quality project, you know, which is great for a portfolio, and it's great. The message is amazing, and whoever gets to see it, it's amazing. But it's still one project, and it's your first one. So the journey that you're on is to basically grow and keep doing these, right? And keep doing amazing things. But when you come out of the gate with like such a kind of big one, you know, and such a high quality one, you can get stuck in the blocks, you can kind of you can suffer from that kind of perfectionist thing that we all, as creatives, happen to unfortunately suffer from.
What do you mean?
I mean, it took me 7 hours getting ready just for this. Couldn't figure out what to wear.
Really?
No, of course not. But I mean, other people are like that for sure. You know, like so.
Well, I can't be bothered.
With creation, with making a record, like my last one. I mean, it's my 10th one, but it took me 9-10 months to make one record. You know, that's way too long. You know, and still some people take longer, but like for me, like it doesn't have to take that long. I'm just a mental case because I want everything to be perfect.
I mean, I'm like that actually. I can relate to wanting everything perfect.
But it's a really bad way to be, because the audience, especially now, and especially with this kind of, people are starting to grow, and I kind of saw it when it first kind of came through. This the over the score high quality film.
Yeah.
Is something that kind of starts to put people off. I don't know if you ever saw, like, for example, Predator was like remastered and it was like, when you see it on a high definition TV, it's fucking shit.
No,
it
but
really
why?
kills the whole movie, because it takes this movie vibe away, and it puts you too much in the jungle, and it's not a reality thing, right? It's a movie, and you need the kind of gradients of a film, you know. And so now, like, there's a kind of kickback to really high quality stuff, and fans are way more, and audience are way more interested in just seeing the next one. Like part 2, part 3, part 4. If it's a movie, of course, like there's a certain level of standard. But if you're doing stuff like you know, like kind of going around the world and checking stuff out, the journey, like, you're more important than the footage. The quality of what happens to you is paramount. The quality of footage and the editing. So your next project might not have like really good editors on board, or, you know, and in a way you kind of would hope that that's the case. So
I didn't actually. I went the other way. So it's interesting that you mentioned that, because so when we did The Lost Nation, I did a road trip around the US, the Midwest.
Didn't tell me that when I said any of that.
Sorry?
You didn't tell me you went on and do a whole bunch of better stuff, or crazier stuff.
Better?
Hey!
Well, hey!
Hey! America's an Amazon in its own right. You know what I'm saying? Some crazies out there. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I went there. I'm not going to say why I went. Anyway, I went there.
Yeah.
Because I was interested in exploring the States. That's such a lie. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so I went there to meet my cinematographer. Yeah, no, I know. No, I'm going to start it with. When I went there we go, I was curious about the indigenous peoples of America. It's like, so...
Of LA, yeah, there's a lot. There's
not LA, I started off in Illinois. I was in Chicago.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So I was thinking, so this is
Illinois.
interesting. Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah, some great hip-hop comes out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. I mean, I love... the States were amazing. I love the States.
Yeah.
It's just, it was... some of the places I went to, amazing vibes, beautiful scenery and terrain, and some incredible people that I got to connect with and meet.
Yeah.
And I learnt so much. But we started off in Illinois, the road trip, because I was so fascinated by the Native Americans, but I never saw any. So I was thinking, where are they today? Where are they? I wanted to know more.
That's really interesting.
So we Googled, and Frank found a powwow in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. So we decided to do a mini road trip from Illinois to Tennessee to go to that powwow, so then I would learn more about the Native Americans and meet them. Right. And we decided to take that very same camera we used to shoot the Amazon film.
I'm surprised you haven't gone to Canon and said, look, you know, give us some cash.
Oh gosh,
for this.
I think I did, but they just, you know what?
They're like,
officials.
If we start paying money to every person using the Canon, we won't have any money. You pay us to use the Canon.
You know what? I don't know. I can't remember what happened. They were very interested in me, but that's the thing. I always get everyone extremely, you know, excited about me, interested in me, and then they, I don't know what happens. They
what are
either
you doing
don't
to
have
people after?
No, I mean, it's marketing budgets, and then it's what aligns with their.
What they need to happen.
What they need to happen from the business perspective, and who they've already sponsored. Do you know what I mean?
Bureaucratic crap.
Yeah, all all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just, yeah.
It kind of
filters out the...
It's the real sinking sand for creatives, you know, like where you don't lose your sandals, you actually lose your
concept.
You lose your credibility in many ways.
Yeah.
So you went out to LA with a really interesting
Not
concept.
LA.
No, sorry,
Illinois.
to Illinois.
So
right.
Chicago, and then we went to the Mount Tennessee powwow, and oh my God, Gavin, I was mesmerized. The Native American culture is beautiful and fascinating. I was just on this high. I was in my element. I was so excited to learn about their cultures. There are over 500 tribes.
Wow.
They make up over 1% of the entire US population.
Yeah.
I learned about some of
their... it's their land.
Yeah. So, and that politically was interesting for me to discuss with them as well, how they feel about it today. And they gave me stories of their relatives.
They must have looked at you like, British?
Actually, they thought, before I opened my mouth, they thought I was Native American too. So it's just
that probably worked in your favour a little bit.
I started to talk like this instead of like this.
Yeah. And so you went out and you shot, what was the piece that you ended up coming out with?
The Lost Nation.
Right.
So it's a 5-minute documentary that I just put online because I thought, I mean, for about a year or two, I can't remember how long, I tried to get it commissioned, the ideas, thinking I want to go back out there, do the road trip, because it didn't just stop in Illinois, in Mount Tennessee, Mount Juliet powwow in Tennessee. It started there because I thought, wow,
so
this
you really
is amazing.
basically shot like a little kind of like screener for what the show could be.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't stop in Tennessee though. I extended my flight and the entire trip, and we decided to go the full circle.
Oh, wow.
So we continued through various states in the Midwest in search of Native American culture and history, and ended up back in Illinois.
So how much footage do you think you got?
I've got a few hours of footage.
Great.
And we put together The Lost Nation.
All going to where we're going. This is good stuff.
I put together a 5-minute documentary called The Lost Nation after not getting commissioners.
5-minute trailer.
Okay, trailer. Okay.
For
teaser.
how much footage you got? Yeah.
Teaser.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get commissioners interested in getting me to go back out there to connect with them, because I was so inspired to tell their stories, to send their message. And this time, I'm usually presenting it or immersing in their culture, but this was the only project where I didn't want myself in there. I was only in there slightly or to kind of bridge the story.
I would say that's a mistake.
Okay.
I think you should put yourself in everything, because I think you're the show in a way.
Okay.
What you're trying to find out and the messages is really important, and that's really the kind of like goals of the shows, right? But you are the show, you know. It's your experiences.
Okay, that's interesting that you say that. So this is what happened when I went back to finish off my degree after the Amazon. I decided to use some of the footage to make my final degree film.
Right.
And when I was putting myself in it, because I wanted to show my story,
someone told you to take yourself.
The teacher said,
"Oh God,
Sarah,
a teacher.
nobody,
what the fuck do they know?
Nobody wants to watch you. Why are you in the footage? I know you're trying to be famous, but like stop."
I hope that person's had a heart attack. They can take a run and fuck.
Just put images and video of the tribe. Just take yourself completely out there, or otherwise you're going to lose the mark. So I was predicted the first, because I didn't listen.
Was it a man? Sounds like a man to me.
The head of the film course was a man, and he was an artist.
Oh, that's 2 strikes. That's brilliant. That's 2 strikes.
I was like,
wow! Never listen to a man artist, a martist.
No, a woman said that to me as well.
Oh, a woman said it to you as well.
The man and the woman's friend,
equal rights.
2 women.
People can both
But
be
one
cunts.
woman on the course believed in me, and she was like, I don't agree with them. But she didn't have the overall say. So I was predicted first.
They're not thinking of, and in their defense, they're probably not thinking of like you're creating a brand out of yourself, and you're going to become like the kind of Indiana Jones type Lara Croft figure.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, of course. So,
I didn't think of that.
So now it's kind of really shitty that they said that, but they're probably thinking of just like, to make a really good documentary, like Attenborough wouldn't get the lipstick on and be in the shots. Do you know what I mean?
I met Attenborough. I love him. He's such an amazing guy.
He's the greatest. But so they're probably right in.
I love how you stopped like He is the greatest.
But so they're talking from a kind of credibility of making a nature documentary. We get what they're saying.
Like a Nat Geo style.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did that,
but you've got to put yourself in there now.
But for the very end of the film, for the credits, after the credits rolled, there was one shot of me they wanted me to take out. And it was a shot of me with the tribe, just interacting with them and laughing.
You got nude, didn't you?
Huh?
You got nude, didn't you?
No. It was just really. It was just a funny scene where they were pretending to pick nits out of my hair as a joke, and they all laughed, and they were just sharing that moment with it. And so I did it back to them, and it was just to show the interaction that I had, and I had the camera with me, so it was like a director's kind of like a blooper.
Yeah.
So that was the only shot of me I put right at the end, and because of that, I didn't get the first. And I had a distinction in my dissertation. What was it? Psychosis and the perception of film. No, psychosis and the perception of reality in film, and that was recognised when I graduated as well. And everybody loved the film. It was just because I didn't listen to them and put myself in that very last shot.
Yeah, never care about marks. I mean, there's
I was thinking, what?
Yeah, marks. People who teach in universities and courses like that, educational, are normally people who never really, like, if they were all happy and they were all content with their work, like, especially in things like art universities, like, artists should never teach, like, art, you know, because art is subjective, like filmmaking subjective. It shouldn't, in a way, like the technicality should be taught, like the editing and all these things, but coming up with creative ideas, you can't really teach that shit. And so when people come trying to give you bad marks, most of the time people are trying to like kind of knock you off a pedestal so you come back stronger. Like that's the only positives of getting a bad mark, but most people are fine.
I mean, they were just like, no, just don't put yourself, why are you putting yourself in it?
It's like a personality thing for them.
That's interesting, because what happened as a result was, that did happen to me, and then I was just like, oh God, I'm not going to let this get me down, but it did play on my mind for a while.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Did damage me for a while. I was thinking, oh, why?
Yeah.
I wanted to show this story, and by doing it, I did become the youngest person ever to make a first film in the Amazon, living with a tribe at the age of 21. And I wanted to share that story with everyone.
Yeah.
So it was only when I had my first TV job in post-production television, one day after work, I was sitting, I was allowed to use the edit suites to edit this, because I had like over 30 hours of footage in 3 different languages, and I had a film to make, and I decided not to use the degree films, thinking, no, I'm going to make my film and I'm going to be in it this time.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to start. I was thinking, what do I do? Oh my God!
Just jump in
and
and
there wasn't anyone I could ask who had been in my position before me. So
great.
I was thinking,
it's a perfect position to be in.
I mean, it was great, but I always do this to myself. But it was really interesting because
you should keep always doing that to yourself. You should always do that to
yeah,
yourself.
no, definitely, because you learn to,
yeah,
you grow, you break barriers to become. But the editor took me under his wing. He was like the best editor in the house, and he came in, he saw me by myself with all this footage, and he was wondering what I was up to. So he came in and was like, what are you doing here? What are you working on? And I told him, I said, I made this film in the Amazon rainforest and I'm trying to put it together, but I don't know what to do. And he was like, what? So he was very busy. He's been working on BBC panoramas, and he has tight deadlines where he doesn't sleep. And he just sat, he took time to sit and hear my story. And he saw some of the footage and he just said, you don't know what you have here, do you? It's like, what do you mean? I was told that it wasn't up to standard. Like, I kept telling him what the teachers told me, and he got pissed off. He was like, seriously? The teachers are teachers because they aren't happy doing what they were, exactly what you said. And he said, he told me he used to be a nurse, but then I think he was DJing, and then he somehow got into editing, and he became the best, like really good. He mastered his craft.
Yeah.
And he was like, right, so you can make a quick film, or you can do it the long way. It would take you a long time, the hard way, but you can master your craft, and I can help you with that route. but you decide what is it going to be. But first, you're not allowed to touch the editing software. It starts in Microsoft Word because you're going to have to transcribe everything in all the languages and translate everything. And then you're going to put the story together, and then we can put the edit together, and I'll help you, mentor you, and guide you along the way. So then I thought about it, and I thought, well, I didn't learn what I really wanted to learn on my freaking film course that I paid for.
Of course.
So yeah.
People rarely do.
So I said to him, I want to master my craft, so teach me. So he became my associate producer on the documentary instantly, and I took his advice. Like, I just listened to everything he said. But then there was something missing, because I was thinking he's very current affairs oriented, he's great at what he does, but there's something missing. What is it? I remember approaching one of Bear Grylls' directors.
I'm going to rush you on this because
really quickly.
This is about you and where you're going, so we need to get to like...
I will. Just tell you the story really quickly. And he directed Bear Grylls and natural history programs and stuff, and all the adventure stuff. So I thought maybe I need to speak to him. So I sent him I put together a taste tape, sent it to him, and he called me, and he said, "Sarah Begum, born survivor." It's like, what? It's like, you're the next Bear Grylls. It's just like, I don't know anyone.
Okay,
like
so let's get to how you become the next Bear Grylls. This is the stuff.
I don't want to be the next Bear Grylls. All due respect to him, because he did endorse me. So just
let's get to where you want to get to, because this is the crux of this show: is taking someone who's got something or creative and who's got like that thing, and then getting you exactly there. So you've got the Amazon thing, you've got the American thing. You shot quite a lot of that.
I'm writing a book on that at the moment.
So you're writing a book as well.
Yeah.
And what other footage stuff have you got?
So how much time do you have?
In 1 minute, sum up the other projects, because then we're going to get to how you blow up.
So went to Morocco to live with to experience life with the Berber tribes. I was adopted by a woman in the Berber tribe.
You were adopted?
Yeah.
Okay. This is awesome.
I was the first person ever to take her photo, to be allowed to take her photo, and to film her. She never lets anyone take her photo. She's very religious, and for some reason she opened up to me. She'll be
rocking a selfie cam now.
But no, she's amazing. But that photo broadcast on Discovery Channel, and she has such an amazing face. It's just an amazing woman as well. Great character. She was in her late 70s, and she wanted to be a stand-up comedian. She used to watch Arabic comedy in her house in the mountains, and it was just fascinating. Anyway, so I have a documentary I made, or a taster, if you want to call it, short, of me with the Berber tribes in Morocco. And
how much footage did you get in Morocco? Like, how many hours of footage did you get?
A few hours. So not as much as the Amazon, because obviously it was a shorter production.
Yeah.
And then in Caracas, I went to shoot what was happening socially, politically, and economically in terms of the reality in the country. That's another story. And
how many hours of footage have you got for that? You can see what we're doing here, right? I'm trying to get like all the numbers.
About the same.
2 hours of footage.
Something like that.
Where else?
More than that, actually.
Where else?
And in Ghana, I've got lots of stories I did for Ghana, but that was for a channel out there. And
have you lost the rights to it? Have you got the rights to put the footage out?
I don't know what I mean, I can put the footage out there.
Keep the footage out there yourself.
I've got for the stuff that I shot on my camera, and for my own stuff. Yeah, of course. For the new stuff, I think I can. I'm pretty sure I could put the stuff out there on YouTube because it's. Yeah.
So you've got. So let's get to the bottom line here. You've got. You're in where you're at now is that. Well, you tell us, where are you at now? Like, and then we'll figure out how, I know where you're at, but like, for the audience, where are you at now? And then we'll discuss where you want to be.
Okay.
So right now.
So I got back from Ghana. I was an investigative journalist for this news channel out there. So I was doing news stories like, all over the country, adventures, investigations, undercover, documenting rural parts of the country that have never been documented before. All kinds of exciting stuff. And then I decided to come back in November, went to LA, for the AFM, the American Film Market, and I had a really exciting meeting out there, which kind of defined what I needed to do next for the film side of things. And then I came back and I just wanted to give myself the rest of the year off. It's like, okay, Ghana was intense. I need to just relax and not do anything for a couple of months.
Well, what's interesting is that
I got back in January. I just decided, right, what's next?
Yeah.
So I started, I teamed up with Russ Malkin of Big Earth, and we've been working on some ideas, and we've gone the traditional and the non-traditional route, but we're just, again, waiting for those people on the other ends who make the decisions to bite. So we're doing some exciting stuff. We set up the Adventurous Club, we launched the site this afternoon, which I'm so excited about.
What's the site's URL?
Huh?
What's the website?
www.theadventurous.club.
Right. And that's what, all your adventures?
No. So, I mean, some of my adventures feature on there and my bio is on there. I'm one of the adventuresses and I'm the co-founder, but and they've made me the ambassador of it, the face of the Adventurous Club. But the purpose of the Adventurous Club is to inspire, connect and empower women in the world of adventure. And so I've also listed other women, female explorers and adventurers from around the world and what they're doing as well. And I'm looking to continuously grow a platform. So that's one thing that we are doing together as well. And we've been working together on ideas and developing stuff. He's been shooting me directing me in pilots, and we've developed so many ideas together. It's always the commissioning editor of whichever channel it may be here in the UK that doesn't always come through with it,
right?
You know, so it's so that's been our battle, and I'm wondering whether it's because from one specific meeting, they said they don't want to see female adventurers on TV, because they
do they know what they want to see on TV?
I don't know. I don't know, but sometimes apparently a woman said that.
They'll want to see whatever comes with a massive following.
Okay.
They're not going to stop a woman coming. If you went in 3 years' time and be like, well, you know, I've got this, blah, 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 you know, like, you're not even going to go to them, because in 3 years' time, they're going to come and ask you for some of your footage. You know, that's basically the state of play. When someone gets, like, you know, imagine Nigella Lawson going, if she hadn't just come through the old school way of doing it, if she had just done her shit like you would have to do now, like if she had done her cooking show on YouTube every day, and then, like, after a year, can you imagine how many subscribers she would have after a year? Anyone going to stop her from being on the biggest channels? She's going to run the fucking world. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so where you're at now, I think we totally get where you're at now, is that you've got all this footage, you're a viral sensation waiting to happen, but the problem with that is the waiting is the killer.
Oh, the waiting is
the killer.
I mean, it's not just me. I've noticed that whenever I speak to creators, they always have the same problem.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a waiting game, and it has been over the years.
It can't be. I mean, the waiting game is the thing that kills us, and so what we have to do is we don't wait anymore.
Yeah.
So anything.
I have so many things that I just refocus my mind on, but it just annoys me just waiting. It's just like
So anything you have, basically, what you have to do now is you have to start and being really kind of, you know, you have to basically cut all your, not cut, but like everything you've got, you're going to start to upload. You have to start to upload on YouTube.
I've been doing that. I made that decision when I got back from Ghana.
Yeah.
It's just timing, because I have been quite busy with talks and other stuff. Like, I have been busy. When I'm not busy, I like to make an effort to post regularly on social media and to look into video content that I have. And if I can re-edit even small clips. And for example, there was a story that never got edited because I left and the editor left, who was trying to get it out there. So they have the edited version, but I don't have the edited version. Yeah. So maybe they broadcast it, but I just don't have it, and it's hard for me to get it from Ghana because of the communication stuff.
But you've got so many things.
So
I would cut your.
I've got so much footage. So I edited something on the African civet. apparently, you should watch it. It's really funny because the guide in the zoo was telling me that they use their pee, the urine of the African civets to.
I love a good urine story.
As perfume. So my face there.
Perfume.
Yeah, I know, right? So I found that very interesting. So
I've used it before.
My reaction was very unique, and I thought, well, that's funny. And it's probably not going to go into a serious news broadcast, but I'm going to edit it for my YouTube channel. So I took that segment out, and I just uploaded it.
Upload it as P. The new links.
No, I mean not that specific. Sorry, let me rewind so then you understand in context. I don't do things like that.
But you should though, because that would be hella viral.
Okay, so I care about wildlife and their conservation.
You have a message that you're trying to do. So.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked the animal, the African civet cat, looked so sad in the cage, and I just felt so sad. And you see me going towards the animal and just locking onto the cage and just staring at it and asking questions about how it's being taken care of. So I investigate its condition before I find out about the urine fact, which I thought was interesting. So my content not only does it show the investigative side of it and
Logan
uncover
Paul
information.
would have probably doused himself in that pee.
Sorry?
Logan Paul would have probably jumped in a puddle of that cat's pee for sure. He would have been viral on it.
No.
That's not your style, of course, but I'm just saying. So basically, we have to get you from. So how often are you uploading on YouTube?
So it's not regularly. It's when I have time.
So the algorithms on YouTube and now DTube.
What's DTube?
DTube's like the new YouTube. YouTube basically cut creatives. The monetization to anyone under a certain amount. You had to have 4,000 hours or whatever. So now it's just so much harder to get over that first hump. Thanks YouTube, you complete cunts. But DTube has come along. Here's one corporation making a problem. Fucking up what they really have.
What was the problem?
Basically, they were paying out too much. They thought they were paying out too much in royalties.
So that's why they cut it down. That makes sense because they've stopped monetizing some of my videos and for no reason.
So now you have to have something like 4,000 hours or 400 subscribers, and then you can only start getting monetization.
Oh gosh.
Do you know what I mean? So they screwed so many people over there, because you might have like a million views on something but have not that many subscribers. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people got screwed on that. And so here comes DTube on the Steemit platform, which is a fork off of Ethereum, that comes and you upload a video and you make Steem cryptocurrency as the video gets played. It mines the currency. And if you comment, whoever's watching it and comments, they mine the currency as well. So they get paid and the creative gets paid.
That's amazing.
Bada bing. World beer. So that's going to blow up. So anything you upload on YouTube, upload on DTube. But the key is consistency. So you can't do one, if you do a video and then you do a video 14 days later and then one 7 days later and then one 24 days later, absolutely useless. They're up there, fine. But what you have to do is find a consistent number per week and the days. So every Wednesday I do this show, and every Wednesday, so here's just freestyle off the top of the head. Every Wednesday, the Amazon show. Every Friday, the US show. Episode 1, episode 2. And you mark them as the name of the Amazon one, episode 1. The name of the American one, episode 1, or hashtag 1, or day 1, or whatever, right? Days are really good. So basically what you're creating as a show, and then people come back. And nowadays, everyone's kind of like this. I'm like this. Everyone kind of gets into that needing to see the next episode and wanting to see the next episode. And one finishes, you want to see the next one.
Why you say that? I was thinking that when I got back from when I got back from LA, I was thinking, right, I have all this footage. And for some reason, I don't know why, because I listened to all these conservative traditional TV producers who only take selective footage for television for broadcast. I have all this other footage where people get to see all kinds of things that I got up to, and more sides of my personality. Instead of me just being a serious presenter, well, I think I have some personality on
You have a
screen.
lot of personality, but, and
But
this is what I'm saying.
there's more
You have
that
to
I
make
cut
yourself
out,
the
that
brand.
I edit out. Yeah, no, definitely. And I need to, I already knew that I needed to do this. So I'm glad you've mentioned it. I'm aware. It's just what my struggle is. I mean, I know I need to do this. I already planned that end of last year. But my struggle was doing it consistently, finding the time to do it the same day, the same hour every week, because my schedule, as with any creative, is very unconventional and just crazy. Like it's not a fixed schedule. I don't have a fixed schedule, so that's why it's been every so often when I've had the time to be able to do it. Yeah.
So let me get through that, because time is a huge problem. So so what you do is you start to one thing is that you make a list of priority. Right? Now, a lot of the things we do as creatives is we do a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't really service us. So there is the whole needing to cut out the shit that doesn't service you, right? And whether it's going to certain events or whether it's being friends with this person or meeting up with these people, all good stuff to do. But if like over the next 2 months, say you started doing this regularly, you got to be real strict on yourself. And so it's basically you can go out because there's no experience that you can offer out if you aren't taken in, right? So you still have to experience, right? You have to go out and you have to have a good time and stuff, and you have to socialize, whatever. But let's say 3 times a week you're just editing, you're cutting down the episodes. Now you're basically in your mind you're going, we're going back to the start, because the world hasn't met Sarah Begum in a
Begum.
I'm gonna go with Begum.
I like Begum. It sounds Belgian.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
But the world is yet to meet you yet. So, and if one of these videos that you put up pops, you've got a very small window to get that person to subscribe and want to watch everything else. So if they go to your channel and it's jagged, it's not like consistent, it's not episodic, you know, they're going to go, man, because these people over here are episodic. I want to see I want to subscribe to someone. I want to watch a show that's not going to end on me.
Okay.
And this is the new world we're in.
Like a commitment, like a relationship.
Yeah, but you've got a great show, because your show is, I'm a traveler, I'm an adventurer, I'm just going to keep doing this stuff. Yeah. And so you might be on your 20th adventure over here, but you got to show people part 1 and episode 1, and you're in the Amazon. And so people are on this journey that this beautiful girl is going to go around the world. And I'm going to watch, and so like people love that. People love travel shows, it's a huge market, especially once you get past the certain numbers. There is money there down the line on where you can like take it to airlines, and it can be a show that's on New Zealand Air, like all these different. There's so many of them that they want to buy content, especially travel stuff, because you're traveling and you're watching travel stuff. It's a total perfect market. So. But what you have to do for this is called the hump. The first 2 months is the hump. It's really hard to get over because it seems like you're just doing loads of stuff and you're not seeing the numbers on the views, right? Because it takes a while for them to accumulate. But you take three days a week, you edit, and then you pick a day. So maybe for first month, you just edit and you get loads of videos ready. Part 1 of the Amazon thing, part 1 of the American thing, right? And you get them ready. So say you have 20 ready. Now, when you go live on the first of that next month, you've got 20 uploads that you can schedule, right? So you can upload them and schedule, this Wednesday's one, this is Friday's one, and then boom, you can keep going, right? And so you're only working 3 days a week on this, and you're up, and then so you're getting ready for your upload, while you maybe take the last 2 days of the week and do your, kind of business that you need to do in your other creative outlets. So you're segregating your time, and you're making this the full-time job. And all the other projects, you kind of have to go, not really important right now. I mean, I just finished writing a film, and I'm putting it on shelf, because it serves me more to have 200,000, 300,000 subscribers before I go forward to anyone, right? If you go forward now, the only thing they're going to say is, how many numbers does it have? And you're going to be in that conversation. It's like, you know what, go fuck yourselves, none of you know anything. I'm going to go and do this thing, and I'm going to come back with 150,000 subscribers, and then you're going to give me your money That's all that's going to happen. And that's all the relationship is. Do you know what I mean?
How many times I feel like saying that?
That's all the relationship is. They have money, they're just banks, they're just going to give you their money to make things, right? But in the meantime, while you do this, by the way, you set up a GoFundMe or a Patreon. And that's a GoFundMe or Patreon. So Patreon is something where you set it up, and everyone who watches you on YouTube or DTube, which by the way, every time you put something up there, you put it up there, and that's making money over there. So your Steam, it's just, building money. But on Patreon is where people who watch every episode, they can go, I want to support this. So you end every video with support me on Patreon. They go to your Patreon page and they can you can set up tiers, and I want to go to this country, I want to go to that country, and then they can support and they can pay to send you those things. So Patreon is your your income, and it's also the funding for future projects. You're going to fund your journeys around the world through Patreon, not cunts who sit in boardrooms who know nothing about anything. Do you know what I mean? No Harvey Weinstein has ever known anything about any fucking movie. No one Martin Scorsese knows movies.
Yes.
Anyone above him who's funded his movies know nada about movies. They don't know anything. You know what I mean? So creatives, we create, we show the world, and then after a while, we have so much of a following, people come and give us money to do bigger things. So I would say you've got so many ideas and you're going to do all these things. I would say you've already got all the content you need right now. Now this has got to go up. And if you did, how many minutes are we on, Jamie? 4 minutes left. I try to get everything in an hour. Mm-hmm. But if you've got, we'll probably go over. But if you've got, 2 videos going up a day, Jesus Christ. So you got 2 videos going up a week. So say you put 1 video up a week, right? That's 52 videos. You're probably going to come out with 20,000 subscribers. That on Patreon will probably turn you over $2,000 a month, right? So now you're not doing all of those other things. Like as creators, we run around doing all these things because we're trying to make money to get to the next thing. Now you're just doing this. Now this is your job. You are uploading because you're building your subscribers and your income to be able to go and shoot like a year-long trip around the world or something, or wherever you want to go next. But that's if you put 1 video up a week, 20,000 subscribers, $2,000. And you'll start seeing that money like 2-3 months in. So you're as you're kind of putting the videos up, you're building the comments, you're building the people who are interested in it. They're going to your Patreon, so you have to send them to the Patreon. Go to my Patreon, so join me on there. See all the stuff you can get. People can be buying Sarah Begum merch and ways to support you, right? So you can build your product line on there. Pictures and photographs. Photograph books of all the places you've been and stuff. The book that you're writing, you can fund that. I'm writing this book about this. You can also be putting up footage that isn't for DTube or YouTube on Patreon, so people can get extra. So then you're building the hardcore fan base. You're basically going to take whoever comes on Patreon around the world with you. They're going to fund you for the rest of your life, and then.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and so that's only if you put 1 video up. So if you put 2 videos up, you're talking about coming out with maybe 50 to 60, right, 1,000 subscribers in a year, and then you're probably $10,000 a month. All right. Now, if you go 365, which sounds unbelievably difficult, then you're probably going to come out with 120 to 150, 170 subscribers in a year. And your income may be upwards of 10 to 20 to 30 grand on Patreon. Now you're able to pick up and you're able to fund your travels, you're able to hire, you're able to, as you start going through doing this, and that's why I would say 365 works a lot of the time, is you can put up you can spend 3 days of the week cutting. And then on the 4th day, just talking about yourself to the camera. You can do that, diary stuff. On the 5th day, you might have something else that you cut, or kind of the film stuff you've done, or things that other people have shot with you. So you could start scheduling them out, or interviews with people, conversations that you can start basically turning your YouTube channel into a broadcast station. The Adventuresses. Friday is where you get another girl who's also doing this, and you come and you talk about your adventures together. Bada bang, you got your 5th day, right? So then you're kind of building it like that. So then, if you go 365, by the end of that year, I guarantee you, it just takes 1, 2, 3, 4 things in that year to pop, like as in go off. Now you're saying about 150 ideas, we just need one. 365 videos a year, how many are going to pop? You mean you're giving yourself a lot of chances to pop there, you know? And not just that, it seems hard, but you're kind of scheduling things, and you bind yourself a month at the start, you upload, and you can schedule your uploads so that you've got time. You know, all you have to do now is shoot and upload. You know, edit for 3 days or 2 days a week, upload. Do you know what I mean? So you constantly got stuff going out. And then Sarah Begum is like it's someone that people know. You know, they're constantly.
Sarah sounds a lot better.
It does. but you're someone that people know. But also things kind of escalate. So the first 2 months, you think the hardest thing to stick out will be the first 2 months, because it will seem like there's not a lot happening. But by the way, every time you put a video up, you use Hootsuite to hit it up on every other social media channel.
Hootsuite?
Something like Hootsuite is like you upload it and it goes out everywhere at once. You know, so you set it up with YouTube, you can set it up to go on Google, and you can set it up to go on Twitter. But with Hootsuite, you can go Facebook, everywhere. You know, you can just blast it. So you just make the video, put it up on one thing, boom, go. You know, so you're not doing all the muck of, oh God, this takes so long. Also, your friend who you work with, you bring them on board and you do it together. So you cut down the amount of work you're doing. But after 2 to 3 months, you'll see things start to escalate, because now you're just giving the world your adventures to constantly keep watching. You know, who wouldn't want to keep watching that? The annoying thing for me would be if I saw your Amazonian thing and that was all that was available, I'd be like, what now? And now you lost me. Instead of gaining me, you lost me.
I have lots of behind the scenes footage that I've never released.
Exactly. So this is the stuff, so everything you've got now, you're kind of looking at put on YouTube, because you're becoming someone really interesting for supporters and audience to follow. The audience is now number one, not the people who are going to fund, not the business people. I would just say, if I could, completely remove the business world, the kind of investors, and remove them from your mind for at least the first year. They will come after a year, you know, build it, they will come, but remove them now, because all they're going to do is add as a distraction. After 6 months, they'll come and you tell them to fuck off, you know, and then after 7 months, 8 months, they'll come, you tell them to fuck off. The only people you're interested in coming is sponsors. The clothes you're wearing, the lipstick sponsor. You know, you've got so many things that you can, and this is the world for us. It's not selling out. It's arming up. It's empowering ourselves. We're not going to funders anymore. We're not going to. They've lost the game. You know, the game is completely. Now the audience has the power. We have the power. We have the audience. We have YouTube. 80% of all market is on YouTube now. Why do we need to go through a broadcast station? Why do we need to go anywhere? It's all in our hands. So, bang, you do that. Sarah Begum is a rock star, superstar, Lara Croft in 1 year.
Sounds
What's the
cool.
one thing that's scaring you from hearing all that?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No. I'm not scared of
Well,
anything.
that's fucking easy.
No, I'm actually not scared. I knew about this stuff. So in 2016, they framed me as the future storyteller at the Belfast Digital Media Festival.
You got to prove them right.
And yeah, no, they're interested in my stories, and I've always been interested in the digital world. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because we set up Intrapedia with the Nevada group, and also I'm doing something with this director that I'm working with at the moment. And it's all in that space.
Yeah.
But I was so excited developing their stuff after thinking about my own YouTube stuff that I forgot about my own YouTube stuff.
Yeah, that's the
because
distraction.
I was focusing on their stuff. So on those ideas, and it was just realizing that the content on television, what's commissioned nowadays, is just 90% crap. Not enjoyable to watch at all.
Do you know why it is? Is that, and it gets worse, and it will get worse until completely people stop watching TV.
But not many people are watching TV.
The only people left are the older demographics, and they want just what they want. EastEnders will run till the end of time. no fucking cool people on the planet watching that. No young people will give a fuck about that.
No, I don't watch it.
Do you know what I mean?
At all.
Like, people want to see someone living life to the fullest. Like, that's what I want to watch.
Yeah.
You know, like, Casey Neistat is the god of, like, showing people that you can just pick up, film your shit, get it out there. Do you know how much money that motherfucker is worth now?
Who's Casey?
Casey Neistat. He just basically picked up a camera. He's a really good photographer, filmographer, just really interested in capturing film. And he's essentially done this, but not in the kind of like your message and the thing you want to find. You know, if it'd be even better for him if he decided, I want to go and be this adventurer. God, you know, like if he wants to go to every single land on the planet and indigenous worlds and stuff. I think maybe he has done that, but or he's trying to do that. But he's more, you know, kind of like urbanite, you know. But you doing that, like how many people do it and do it well and like actually care? I can see that loads of people have done it and they've you know, get a film crew or they get people and, you know, because they look really pretty or whatever and they, you know, or they look handsome and they have kind of some interest in it and then they get, you know, broadcasted out there or they get kind of endorsed to go and do these things. But you doing it yourself, you know, that's the power. And if someone says, and this is the thing about going from here to LA, or this is why I say means nothing where you start from, you know, because you're going to go everywhere. As an adventurer, you're going to go everywhere. And anywhere that you're only going to get told, no, we don't want you on TV, or don't put yourself in this, or no, you're not really what we're looking for. Don't give any motherfuckers that power over you. Never give anyone that power over you. You do what you want to do in your life.
I should tell you this, it's interesting, it was recent. I was speaking to a BBC producer who said he works for the BBC Natural History Unit, predominantly has made programmes for them. And he said, Sarah, these people that I've worked with before, the reason they've been on TV before is because they have a specialist skill or a science degree, which makes them an expert in this area, meaning they're able to do it. They can't, people can vouch for them, so they can do it. A programme takes £200,000 to make, the price of a house. So to trust new talent with that is a huge risk, and commissioners are quite conservative, and some of them, you know, they
should have
just
told him Steven Soderbergh just made a motion picture with an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't cost $200,000 anymore.
He was just like, but what you can do is this idea that I think is really good for you because it's personal to you and it's personal to your heritage and also to your interest and your skill as an investigative journalist. That's what you need to focus on. So you can investigate this idea that I can put you in touch with this other woman that I'm interested in, and if you're and put your investigative skills to use and show that you can be very good at what you're doing. And then I was thinking, okay. He was like, if you'd like to work on it, I can put you in touch with this woman. So and he was like, but at the moment, nobody wants to watch you on TV. And so I was just like, okay, but you can put yourself to use by investigating this for me.
He's probably got a heart condition. He'll probably die soon. Fuck that guy.
So it's like, like there's so much that I would love to say.
Why wait for?
I can't say. It's just like.
No, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Fuck that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He clearly doesn't know the market that's out there now. He doesn't know what's happening. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of dinosaurs out there. You know, basically all these people who are in, you know, kind of, you know, executives producing things and, you know, working in these big offices, they don't really know what's happening. It's like in the music industry.
They're looking for new talent.
Looking for new talent.
But the thing is, even the event that I went to yesterday, they were looking for new talent. Now,
to exploit.
I'm perfect for what they want in some of the streams that they're looking for.
Yep.
But they don't care what I have. Sometimes they're given a specific criteria of what that talent needs to look like or be, you know. So they immediately cut out what I'm about and go for a certain type of look.
Yeah. But your worst thing to them is that you're about something. fuck it. Whoa. You're about what we fucking put you on TV to be about. That's what you're about when you're an actor, when you're in that world. Like, if you have morals, like, no, you're going to eat shit for years until you have enough of a following that you can do your own thing. That's why the greats kind of are, they suck ass for so many years and then they're the executives. You know, that they make their own thing, you know? Like, that's the kind of entertainment business and how it has been, and it's dreadful for women, because women sucking shit is literally taking horrible risks with their life and just everything they go through. It's different for kind of George Clooney. I'm gonna you know, go through the shit for a while and then I'm gonna be a producer. It's really different for women. You know, because of the types
especially
of men
a female
that
explorer for completely different. Like, I'm just different to anything that's out there.
Yeah. So but that's your unique selling point.
Yeah.
For you going forward, you know, but that's not good to them. Because that means you're gonna go off the script. You're not gonna stick to this. You're not gonna want to do this, you know, because you care about, you know, society and the world, and you know what I mean, like that. They don't give a fuck about any of that. They want a pretty person on TV doing exactly what they fucking want them to do. You want to actually discover the truth about the world and be an investigative journalist. That's very scary to anyone who's got, you know, partners, has to worry about newspapers, has to worry the old school shit. I'd be like, fuck newspapers, fuck radio, fuck all that shit.
I don't like, I mean, I do everything within reason. Like, I care about everything. Yeah. But I don't purposely try to fuck up reputations.
No.
Like, I don't do that.
Yeah, no,
but I'm very careful and selective with the kind of programs that I associate myself with from the beginning.
But so you can imagine to certain people, like, the curse of this, and this is horrible that this actually exists, but this is the way the world is. The curse of being a pretty girl in these types of businesses is that they want you to, and even women who will cast or who will look to work, they want you for a specific reason. You know, market products or to sell their show. You know, because like. You know, so if they come up with the idea and they want, you know, and it's something that you basically have to wait for an idea that aligns with what you want to do, rather than just go and do your ideas.
It's interesting because I had a call this morning about somebody wanted me to be talent for their online YouTube channel, and something that they were coming up with that was similar to what I was doing. And it was like, but we're going to see all the talent on this day. Are you available? So I was thinking...
Just put the phone down. Be like, go fucking suck 100 dicks, please. Just get the fuck out of here. It's like, you do what you do now, and you concentrate on you. Like, Sarah Begum is going to be the next kind of rock star adventurous, you know, and with you doing it, you can help other people doing it. Like, everything I just said there, I'm doing. Real Time Radical is doing. We're doing this, you know, and we just started, but we're gonna keep going. And so you start now, right? And this is my aim for life, is that if I've seen 20 years in this business, what the fuck the deal is, and I watch the movements of the world, you know. And
how old are you? Like 20?
I'm like fucking. I'm 16. Just look really old.
So young.
But. So my thing is, if I come up with something and it's working, or if I think something that can help someone, then you help them. Now you can be doing the exact same thing. If it starts to work for you, then you can teach it to other people, and then they do it. You know, so you can be, you know, blowing up the Sarah Begum stuff. Sure. And
actually, my YouTube channel is called Sarah Begum World TV.
That's perfect.
And it was started up initially for that specific reason, to be my TV channel. My broadcasting network, my own channel. It's just finding the time to consistently, but that's a good idea. I mean, I've been trying to do it this year. It's because originally I was such a perfectionist. I wanted that high level quality in every single video that I put up, but that's impossible. Yep. Well, not entirely impossible. It's just if you want regular content, it has to be of a certain level, production-wise, acceptable level production-wise, but the content is what matters the most. Yeah. So it was only when I got back and I realised I'm sitting on all this footage I've never released. I need to do something about it.
If someone comes along with an iPhone now, and they go to the Amazon, and then they go to America, and they come back and they put up a video a day, they're going to take your entire audience. You've actually got the good quality stuff, But if you stay playing that quality game,
I love how he's trying to scare me like this.
it is. Hey, this is a war.
So-
We are the warriors, the creators of the warriors, and the executives, they are the tyrants. So we are fighting a battle for our creative
Okay,
rights.
this has motivated me to just go and edit something and just put it out there.
Go and edit.
Something that I've not released yet. Like, yeah.
Go and do it. But so what I would say, just to wrap this up, I would say every idea comes with 100,000 other possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Simplify every single thing that you think down to like a one simple thing, right? So then that's going to take out time. And when you have a great idea, don't let your head populate with how to promote that idea or doing press and we can do this and we can do that. No, just do that one thing, right? And then prioritize what is really important. Doing this route here, that's your life. Like, if you want to settle down in a few years or you want to have like, this is how you do it. Daily uploads. Make yourself the huge brand. Everything else, make a priority list of when things are coming in. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. Like, oh, this person wants you to do an advert or something, or this person wants you to do this little piece here on this thing. This is what I have to do. And it's going to test you because you might be, funds-wise, you might not have the funds off the bat unless you're uploading every day on DTube. Then you will have some funds off the bat, and if you're setting up Patreon, then you will have funds. But there will be tough times in the first crux, the first little hump, the first month and a half hump. But if you can just simplify everything, stay focused, get over that hump, you will see things really start to mobilize in a powerful way. Before long, the only hard thing will be telling people to fuck off. Because you're actually going to do this. And anyone come on board is going to want to take your rights, they're going to want to take your income, they're going to, do you know what I mean, take the piece of the pie. Now the only reason you would give anything out is if it makes it easier. Because what you're going to want to do as you move forward is make everything easier and lighter on you so you can continue doing more. Right? So as you get to your third, fourth, fifth month and things are turning over, then you outsource the editing, you outsource this, you outsource that, and you just, you free up more time. So all you're doing eventually by the end of the year, sitting down in front of a camera or going to a place, shooting. By the end of that year, you want to be doing something, but uploaded, and it's hit-suited and gone out. Now we've got next video to shoot, and then by 6, 7 o'clock that night, you've got 4 videos done, and you're having fun with your friends, Boom. Sarah Begum is going to be the next massive, adventurous breakout star. Take my word for it. Sarah, thanks so much for coming along today.
Thank you, Gavin. It's been amazing speaking to you.
All right. We'll catch you next time. Catch you on the flip.
See you later.